What's up, everybody? Bueller here again. And today, this isn't the market review and watch list review just yet, but I wanted to go over a couple of the day trading plays we did today, just to put a day trading video up there again. But today, big plays that we ended up taking were AMD, NIO, BYND, and ROKU. These are the main ones I was looking at that time. I'd also alerted on the trade floor NVIDIA and AMD mainly, but here's the watch list I ended up posting today. I ended up posting a lot more side ones just because there was so many things that looked really good today. We destroyed it for the day trading aspect of things. So let's get into the things on the chart though, into the breakdowns. So the first one I wanted to break down was AMD. I'm gonna do everything on the 5-minute just because a lot of these trades were in the earlier part of today, and I like to be on the 5-minute, 10-minute when I'm looking at those kind of trades. So first 10 minutes of the day on AMD, we ended up breaking below my 109.55. It's a good support from the previous day. Ended up tanking below, straight to my first target at 108.70s. Riding under my 9 EMA, we ended up scaling out our further contracts on the next retest. So very big drop there. And then the next trade we ended up taking was NIO. Sorry, I had to look over. But here on NIO, we had to wait a while on this one. I was sitting here just leaving it on my left side monitor and stream for a while, and we were just kind of waiting on it while we looked at other trades. I was kind of looking at NVIDIA and AMD mostly until this chart popped up. It ended up cracking under my 38.65. We ended up taking very initial entry as it ended up breaking, and we ended up closing in the very next 5-minute candle. So a very quick, 3, 4, 5-minute trade, but we ended up taking almost 25% on next week at the money strike. So that was really cool. Let's get into the next chart. BYND was a longer trade. We ended up taking this one on the third 5-minute candle. I think I had that highlighted from the 10-minute. Yeah, I did. So on the second 10-minute candle close, you ended up getting under the PML as well as our bigger time frame levels at 119.65. That was our break below level on the watch list. Price ended up tanking below, riding the 9 EMA, and we ended up taking our profits at that 117.25, which was my main target. We did have a 118 set here as well. I kind of put that there not from a TA level, SNR. I just kind of put it there from a psych point of view. 118 is a very strong level. As you can see, if you mark 118, you actually see it was tested perfectly on that gap down from on this 10-minute chart. But as you can see, though, nice drop there. A lot of these trades are going to be shorts. Now let's get into ROKU. ROKU was another good one. We ended up marking this, and I said this in voice chat. I say it every day. I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to annoy my members with this, but do not trade the first 5 to 10 minutes if you do not want to play a bunch of fake outs. If you're someone who wants to just wait for a lot of bigger trades to play out of their ranges, then wait. And thankfully, I ended up not waiting on ROKU. I just wasn't paying attention to it. We were focused on NIO, AMD, NVIDIA, and all those other trades you were looking at. But as you can see, after the first 30 minutes went by, you had confirmed 40% entry. I highlighted that, by the way, because that's a really good fake out. But good fake out above it. Let's see it on the 5-minute. Above it, you had a good 5-minute entry, and then you end up getting a fake out, and which closed back under the PML. What is your stop loss in this trade if you do take this trade? Let's say you get in the first 10 minutes. You like it. That's your entry. What's your stop loss? It needs to be that initial breakout level. So 361 needs to be your close. So let's say you wanted to wait for candle close. You were out of that trade for actually decently small losses. You weren't in there for that big, so good small loss, move on. Don't let that ruin your day. You're not a bad trader. You just had to take a fake out. But let's look at the chart, though, for what did happen. So thankfully, we weren't paying attention to it. So when we came to this chart 30 minutes later into the market open, we saw price end up closing under. We ended up getting into some puts. Price ended up tanking down, and we ended up taking our profits around 348. I ended up getting it before 348. I didn't want to, I'm not OCD. I don't really care about getting perfectly to my target. I'll always do it right before my target just because most of the time that's where momentum gives up at. So I like to sell before my target. I'm not, OCD. But regardless, though, let's see it on the 5-minute with my 9 EMA. As you can see, closed under there on the 5-minute, ended up taking all the way lower, riding on the 9 EMA. So even if you did end up not taking profits, you could have seen that it rejected it again here, made another low, and you should definitely take profits after you have that new low made. But regardless, though, don't be greedy. Take that initial, target, staircase your way into this. Don't, take every single trade hoping to take it to the third or fourth target. Focus on taking the initial entry to the first or second target even, but focus on that for a while, and I promise you'll definitely enjoy trading a lot more. But hopefully you guys like this video more, and if you can, please leave me a thumbs up.